The story begins with a woman named Meg, who is going to get divorced soon. That's why she was looking for a new house with her son, because now she will be separated from her husband, so these people could not live together. Today she had seen many houses that she didn't particularly like. So now the dealer shows her a very rich man's magnificent big house, which had all kinds of facilities. But because that rich man was dead, his family had put up this house for sale, which was in very little money. That's why as soon as the mother and daughter went inside, they liked the house a lot. That's why they decide to buy this house. Meg liked everything in the house. But as soon as the dealer took her to the third floor, Meg was very confused. Actually, there was a strange room here, like a bunker, which we can also call a safe room or a locker room. That is, it is used to hide something. Now Meg asks the dealer that, after all, the owner of the house must have made this room for this purpose. The dealer answers that when the owner of the house used to live here, he used to have a lot of money. Approximately several $1,000,000. That's why he made this locker room. So, that if there was any danger, he could use it in case of an emergency. And if there was an attack on him, he could come here and save his life. These people now come inside and check this room too. There were a lot of TVs here, because there were cameras in the whole house, whose recordings used to play here. Inside this wall, iron walls were also used. There were such rods on the gate in which current used to flow, so that if someone tries to enter it, he will die due to the current. Now one thing that was most interesting here was the phone, which will never be turned off. It will always work. But there was a small thing that it had not started working yet. To get it started, the company will have to say who set up the phone here. Now this room is obvious. Meg found it very strange. But it doesn't matter to him, because he had to stay in this house, which was so grand. Not in this room. That's why she buys a house by giving money, and she quickly shifts her stuff here and starts living. And so her life starts going on normally. The mother and daughter were happily living here. After a few days at night, when the mother and daughter were sleeping, then we see some thieves outside their house, who were peeping inside their house. Then a man forcibly tries to open the door. But because it was locked from inside, he could not open the door. So now he started climbing up somehow, entering through the window. He first opens the balcony door. Then he goes inside and opens the main door, and calls his other companions inside. But their same companion, whose name was Burnham, he sees Meg and his daughter, and he was a good person compared to the other thieves. He had first refused to steal, but when he was told that there was no one at home, then he went and agreed to steal. But now because he had seen the mother and daughter, so he tells his companion that I will not steal here, because there is a family living here. Although you said that the house is empty, I will not steal by killing people like this. Now here we found out that the thief who was telling all this to Burnham, he was actually the grandson of the previous owner of the house. He knew that the house was empty before. That's why he made this whole plan of theft. But now that he knows that there is someone in the house, he reassures Burnham that calm down, nothing will happen. I have made all the arrangements, and I have also brought a killer to kill people. Who takes money and kills people, then he will put those mother and daughter to sleep, and we will commit our theft. Don't think so much, nothing will happen. But still Burnham does not agree for this, and decides to leave from there, because he did not agree to take someone's life. Seeing him leaving, the owner's grandson starts insulting him. What are you doing? Don't you want money? You have no idea that we will get more than $3 million here. Hearing this, Burnham stops, because he also needed money. Now at midnight, Mackie woke up. She had to go to the washroom, after which when she went to sleep again, she starts checking the lights in the locker room. But after a while, when she woke up again, she saw that I did not turn off the lights in the locker room. So, as soon as she came to turn off the lights, her eyes fell on the TV, where she was very scared to see that a thief had entered the house. She got scared and quickly came to her son. She woke him up and told him to be quiet. Then she told him everything and started going from here so that he could run away from here. But he saw the grandson of the owner of the house going, so he also followed them. But now he started using the lift to go down. Mackie's daughter tells him that we should go to that locker room. We can be safe there. Mackie agrees to this. And now the two of them come to the third floor. Now before the thief had reached them. She kept the chair on the road and went ahead. The thief was about to come to her. She quickly went to that room, closed the door from the inside and locked herself there. Both were very scared. They did not understand what the last people wanted. Now because of going to their locker room, the owner's grandson got very angry, because the room in which he had to go was in the locker room where he had to pay $1 million. But Mackie did not know this. Mackie then started looking for his phone. where he remembered that, oh God, he is in the room. So now he went there. He tried to call him, but that also did not work, because he had not yet got it turned on by the company. Now the killer was suspicious. He told him that he had not called the police. If the police come here, we will all be caught. On which Burnham says that no, this cannot happen. Because for this, he had to turn that phone on first, for which he had to call our company. Because Burnham used to work in the company that had that phone, and he knows every corner of this house. But there Mackie finds a button that he can press to speak on the speaker of the whole house. That is why he tells the thieves that I have called the police. They will come soon. But the owner's grandson writes on the paper and moves towards the camera. He wrote that you cannot do this, because the phone is not even turned on. Seeing this, Mackie was very surprised that how did he find out. Then he says on the speaker that okay, you take whatever you want and get out of here immediately. On which the owner's grandson then writes that whatever we want is in the same locker room. So you guys get out of there. We promise that we will not do anything to you. On which Mackie says that this cannot happen, because I don't trust the thieves. You guys stand as you wish. My daughter and I are not going to come out of here. Hearing this, the owner's grandson tells Burnham that you tell us a way through which we can enter that room. Burnham replies that there is no such way through which we can enter, except from inside. Until someone opens the door from inside, we cannot go. But now Malik's grandson got an idea. He started breaking the ceiling of the room on which the room was built, which was the roof of the room. When he saw it, Badnam told him that you are doing this stupidity. I have seen such rooms for years and heard about them. If it was so easy to break it, then would people have made it at their homes? His words were right, because when she breaks the whole ceiling, she saw a steel wall inside it, which she tries to break, but she can't break. Now they had also heard the sound of breaking, because of which I was nervous. But his daughter tells him that, Mom, you don't have to be afraid. As long as we are in this room, we are safe, because this is how it was designed. But Malik's grandson got a stupid idea again. He says that we leave poisonous gas in the pipe that goes into that room. This will cause them to be forced to come out because of the hammering. Everyone agreed to this plan. They quickly brought the gas cylinder and connected its pipe to the room's pipe. After some time, the gas starts to spread in the room. But then Meg's daughter opens the 2 bags in the room. There was a lot of stuff in it that she could save herself with. They get 2 fire jackets with the help of which they can burn with fire. Meg and her daughter wear this jacket. After which Meg lights the pipe with a lighter, which caused a blast there, and Malik's grandson's hand and mouth burns. Along with that, a lot of things had fallen and scattered here and there. Now because of all this, Malik's grandson gets very angry, because his whole plan fell on him. He started screaming while losing his control. Whether I get the money or not. But I will not leave you two. Now Meg's daughter starts looking for more things from those bags, where she finds a torchlight. There was a big pipe in the room, from whose hole the front house was visible. Through that way, Meg's daughter hits the torchlight towards the front house, with the hope that maybe Malik will see us there. Even so, the owner of the house woke up. Seeing this, they both started screaming loudly. But because of the distance and this place being narrow, he could not hear their voice. He also got this normal light. That's why he goes back to sleep. Seeing this, their hope completely broke. And now they both feel that maybe we will not be able to go out of here. Because first of all, those thieves had closed all the doors and windows to go out. And on top of that, she herself sat in this den. Until they get the money, they are not going to leave from here. Now through the cameras, Meg found out that those thieves have gone downstairs. That's why she opens the door of the room that had become a panic room for them. And she tells her daughter to keep it open and goes to her room. And she starts taking her phone. But downstairs, people found out that the door was open. That's why she quickly came upstairs. But at the last moment, Meg comes back to the room. And again, she closed the door. Now the thief was very worried, thinking that what must have gone inside. But when the killer saw the charger lying there, he understood that he got the phone in his hand, and it went inside. Meg tries to call her husband from her phone, but she can't call him. Then she remembered that the phone here is fine. If I connect her phone line to a phone line, then the phone will work. That's why she opens the place with the wires and takes out the telephone line wire from inside and connects it to the phone. After which she luckily calls her husband. She tells him to bring the police as soon as possible because a thief has entered the house. But the call got cut in the middle because Vrindam knew that he had called, so he cut the main line. Even the owner's grandson had given up. He says that I am going from here because he was in pain because of the scar on his face. He had to go. But before going, he says that we have more than 100 rupees here. After hearing this, the killer shoots him and takes his life so that he doesn't go out and tell the same thing to anyone. Seeing this, the doctor and his daughter are very scared. At the same time, the doorbell rang. Whoever was there, they brought him inside. They found out that he is Mega's husband who did not bring the police with him. He thought it was right for him to come. But the poor man made a mistake because as soon as he brought him inside, the killer started beating him. Then he tells Vrindam to ask him who he is. Now, when Vrindam checked his ID, he also found out that he is Mega's husband. Now, the killer's mind was filled with greed and blood. That's why he takes Vrindam to the gunpoint and tells him to take me to that room somehow. Otherwise, I will shoot you too. But Vrindam tells him to do whatever he wants. When there is no way to go inside, how can we go? On which the killer says that it's okay. Now I have an idea. He takes the ID of Mega's husband and puts it in front of the camera. Then he also starts beating him by bringing him in front, so that they both come out looking at this. Now seeing this, both the mother and daughter were very sad. She started crying in fear. But there was another problem for Mega here. That's why her daughter started being beaten up, because she had a disease. If the medicine was not given to her, she could have died. I got scared. What should I do? Because her daughter's condition was getting worse. Then she sees in the camera that Vrindam and the killer were fighting with each other. Vrindam is dragging her down. She thinks that this is the right time. I can get the medicine. That's why she opened the door very cleverly and came to the room, and sees that her husband is lying on the bed in a wounded state. She quickly goes and picks up the medicine. Before she leaves from here, she sees the killer in her husband's clothes, because they had changed their clothes, so that Mega can get caught in their trap. To some extent, this happens, because when Mega was hiding near the locker room, then the killer saw her and said, "Nothing can happen to you now. Hand yourself over to us. Otherwise, we will take your life." But Mega didn't care about anything here. She just had to save her daughter. That's why she comes in front and pushes her, and runs up to the locker room to go. But as soon as she reaches the door of the locker room, Vrindam sees her standing there, and the killer had also come from behind. That is, she was trapped. She could neither go forward nor back. Then the killer picks her up and throws the rope, in which the medicine also falls off her hand and falls far away. Taking advantage of this, they both go inside the locker room. Mega was left outside, who had a gun, and she didn't shoot. In this fear, Vrindam started closing the door, but before Megni threw her son's medicine inside, which immediately after Burnham closes the door. But in a hurry, the killer's hand got stuck in the middle of the door, because of which he was in pain and he wants to open the door. By then Megni had also picked up the gun. Burnham tells the killer that I can't open the door. Megni has a gun. If we open the door, she will shoot us and kill us. Hearing this, Megni turns the gun towards the door. She was worried about her son. That's why she says that. Give my daughter the medicine. I promise I won't do anything to you. But if you don't do that, then you won't be able to come out. I won't leave you. Hearing this, Burnham tells her to go down first. And as soon as Megni went down, Burnham opens the door, so that the killer can release his hand. He frees her and starts giving medicines to Megni's daughter. He says that I also have a daughter like you, but I am doing all this because of some compulsion. I was told that if I don't do this, they will kill my daughter. That's when someone knocked on the door. It was the police. Before coming, Megni's husband called, but Megni hides the truth from them. She says that everything is fine here. You guys go back. Hearing this, the officer says that if you are afraid, if you are saying this because of some compulsion, then just give us a hint. We will understand. But she doesn't do anything like that, because it was not dangerous for the police to come in. She wants to save her daughter. That's why the police leave. Locker breaks the safe inside her, inside which there were money papers, from whom it was found that there is nothing more than 3 million, but there are $22 million. They were going to take their papers from here. That's when they face Megni's husband, who had a gun. Burnham was at his target, while the killer was holding his daughter as a captive. He also says that Dad don't do anything to her, otherwise she will kill me. But his dad says that leave my daughter. I will also leave you. Megni hits the killer on the head from behind, with which he falls down, but he was still alive. When the opportunity came, Burnham ran out of here. The killer got up again and came inside. Seeing this, Megni's husband started shooting at him. Burnham also heard the sound of bullets. He was worried about the child. He thinks that nothing will happen to him in this bullet. That's why he ran back and came inside. He sees that Megni's daughter is at Nishami, and the killer is going to kill her. But first he shoots her and kills her, and so he saved the child's life. He then tells them that I am going from here. Now there will be no one to bother you. Saying this, he went out of here. Because the door was closed, he tried to break the wall to run away, But then the police came here, who had caught him, and surrounded him from all sides. He leaves the $22 million paper in his hand, and he flies in the air and goes here and there. Although he was a good person, he wanted to save people. He cared about everyone. But now the officers had caught him, because besides being good, he was greedy for money, who doesn't take long to make a good person bad. After which we see the time after a few days, where the mother and daughter were talking very comfortably, and now they start looking for a new house again, where there is no locker, panic room, or bunker, and they never had to face such a danger again. And with this, the story of this film ends here. Thank you for watching.